So how did you get into this entrepreneurial mindset?
I was not that much interested in studies and all.
I love the part where you said that you were 14 when you started it.
कि बिट्स में आते ही लोग YouTube channel start कर देते हैं. 1 month ago, I also started a YouTube channel.
Like, I really wish I had that amount of enthusiasm.
So I got into freelancing. वहाँ से I did freelancing for 6-7 months.
Like, your journey is so inspiring, to be very honest, for me also, even though I'm 22 and you are much younger than me. Okay, so welcome to the podcast, Nikhil. How are you doing?
I'm great, Anish. Thank you for hosting me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, firstly, just introducing our guest for today. Nikhil is currently studying in Bits Pilani Goa. He's a second year student, and he's just 18 years of old. But he has two startups of his own. One is MediaGroww, and one is Fastcut. We will be talking about both of these in detail as we move through the podcast. So, before this, like, what are you expecting, Nikhil, from this podcast? Whatever you feel.
Thanks for the intro, Anish. ऐसा कुछ in particular तो I'm not sure, but we'll have a chill convo. Let's see what we get out of this.
Okay. So you have two startups, like I said. One is MediaGroww, one is Fastcut. So how did you get into this entrepreneurial mindset? Like, was it from college, or did you particularly have it before also? Because my journey, I was not into content creation at all. I came to Bits Pilani Goa. I saw how people are interacting with other people, and I saw how people started YouTube channels once they came into Bits Pilani. And then that is how I got introduced to all of this. तो मेरे को पहले मतलब बस engineer बनना था. But as time progressed, I was like, हाँ, I want to go into this also. So how did you start all of this? Was it like through bits, or yeah, you can just tell me about that.
So first of all, though, like I don't call these startups. I like to call them projects because first of all, it's not even registered yet. Like, we are kind of in the beginning phase only, and projects ka idea kaise aaya, it's just that I've always wanted to, I was not that much interested in studies and all. तो इधर उधर I used to look up stuff कि कुछ ना कुछ नया करने को देखते हैं, and ऐसे ही one day it had to start. So I thought, why not? So I'll go over how I started. But like the basic idea was कि I wanted to, जैसा as you said कि बिट्स में आते ही लोग YouTube channel start कर देते हैं. आने से 1 month ago I also started a YouTube channel, and I used to edit the videos myself and all. So तभी I thought कि I am good at this editing thing, and maybe we can offer this skill to others as well. So I got into freelancing. वहाँ से I did freelancing for 6-7 months. Then I thought, why not, sell our services as an agency? That way it feels more premium. Plus, we'll get paid more for the same stuff. तो वहाँ से we started an agency, and agency पे काम करते 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 there is one thing कि video editing में generally in the market people are looking for short form content which is similar to what the top content creators make. So like if I give you an example, you can go in the market today and there will be tons of people looking for editors who can edit their reels in the format of, let's say, Alex Hormozy or Ali Abdal. So that thing, when I noticed it, I felt this could be automated using code. When we have to design the subtitles, the graphics, every time we have to do it manually in the same fashion. Why can't we just automate it? So that's how we started the second project, that is Fastcut, which is a tool that edits your real short form content in just one click. So it takes your shot, it transcribes it, the audio into text, and understanding that context, it edits your video. So that's broadly how all of these things started, and like just you made it seem like I'm not that far ahead in my journey right now. I'm only in the beginning phases. So yeah.
Yeah, and my second question, which was this something that came in your mind after bits or before bits? Like, you already had it envisioned before, or did it come after bits?
I've been building projects before coming to Bits as well. In 2021, when I was in 12th class, and 2020 and 2021, I used to build games. So at that time, I used to dream of becoming an indie game developer. So I learned Unity from YouTube, and I discovered this new tool using which you can make your own games. So I was very interested in that. So that way I built 3, 4 games. Never published them anywhere, but I still have those. Uh, Pretty shit games, but they got me started into this journey of development. I learned C sharp and all of these tools that you need to build games.
Hmm.
So that was the exciting thing. At that time, also I started a YouTube channel, but that like I just posted one video and it
Hmm.
dropped. I never continued it. Maybe because I did not had that conviction to keep going. I used to cringe too hard at myself. Before coming to college, when I started the second time, at that time also I used to cringe. Like even now I used to cringe, but I just now I have that attitude of no one cares.
Hmm.
So it's not something that I started after like specifically coming to college. When I used to see all of the other people doing things, like uh, it's all available on YouTube. It's been there for a long time. People have been doing building things on the internet, and it's very, very, very democratized on the internet. So anyone watching this can just go to YouTube, learn all of this stuff. So that's what I used to do back in 9th, 10th, 11th grade.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Got it. So now, say, suppose the reason why I asked you this is because obviously it's not a magic of, just building two startups directly or building two projects directly. The reason why I asked you this was how has your journey been before this project? Like what, like, can you dive more deep into the gaming part and the freelancing part? Because a lot of people want to do this, but they don't know how to do it. So they probably, for them also, if they are looking to start something, it would be best for them to understand that journey first, because it's easy, like it's easy to think that you can replicate this, but to replicate
yeah,
the projects and everything, you have to have a backward journey, which is to understand freelancing. You have to understand these
absolutely.
industries, you have to try something on your own, and you have to try something and probably fail, and then you can do something which is much better, which comes out of it. So can you talk about that journey specifically?
So uh, I'll start with this. Whenever people talk about this, they're always like, I had this passion, I used to love this and all. But the root cause of all of this, why I started, or why I feel someone else might have started, is at the core level, I want to earn money. So
Hmm.
all of these 12, 13-year-olds, they look up to these celebrities on the internet, and their whole driver for motivation is that I want to earn money. Like later on, they might justify it by saying that I had this passion for building startups or building this and that and whatnot. But at the core, it's like this is a very cool thing to do. I could be coding on my laptop and earning money through it. So that was like the initial motivation for me as well. Like that is the initial driver for most people. Ki I want to make money out of this, and just because it is cool to do so, just because we see some other guys on the internet doing this, we feel like this is very achievable, and that's a good starting point. Once you are inside of this thing, once you get into it, that's how you start learning. Always just theory, theory, theory करते रहोगे तो you never get into it. You'll not learn it. ऐसा नहीं है you'll like you learn all of these things from the internet and एक बारी में करोगे हो जाएगा. You That is a motivation good enough to get you into this field. Once you look up to any kind of motivation कि मेरे को पैसा कमाना है, so I got into video editing. So maybe I got into game development. थोड़ा सा interest भी था, that is also part of it, but mostly it is like I want to maybe look cool in front of my friends.
Hmm.
Once you get into it, then you realize that there are a lot more things to it. There are a lot of small things that you need to learn, that you need to practice in order to master it. It's not that easy. It feels like ये tutorial follow करके मैं कर लूंगा, but when you get into it, that's when you start realizing कि it needs practice, and that practice comes from doing it.
Hmm.
And since you're already into it, you're doing it. So like it's a cycle. कि you've entered into it for one motivation, for this thing was your motivation when you entered into it, but now there is something else that probably drives you. But now since you are into it, you keep getting better and better. You fail at something, you search for it online, like how do I get past this, and then you apply that into your life, you get past it, then there's another obstacle, and continuing into that journey, you get past it. So coming back to the my story, so I used to build games as well. So I used to build games, and when I used to build games, there was a channel on YouTube which is Brackies. So that guy taught game development, and I used to be a big fan of him. So I used to follow all of these tutorials. I used to think ऐसे I'll build my game, then I'll publish it to Play Store, I'll publish it to App Store. It will go up the charts. I will, put AdSense into it or something. But when I started to execute all of these things, when I went to the Play Store website to actually publish it, then I realized it's a little more complicated than what I thought. It's you have to pass a lot of checks to get published, to get your app or game published to the stores. You even for the advertising part, like I was 14 back then, so for running ads into your games, you have to have an AdSense account, and like the minimum age requirements for that is 18 or something. You need to have a bank account. You need to submit all of those things in order to get your things published. So I learned those one step at a time. Now I have like come to a stage where we are finally able to put an MVP in front of the world. So yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Firstly, I love the part where you said that you were 14 when you started it. Like, I really wish I had that amount of enthusiasm because I was just like, मेरा ऐसा था कि I had no ambition as such. Like, मेरे को ऐसा था कि I'll go to college. I was always like a topper sort of. So I was like, हाँ college हो जाएगा, I will get good marks and then I'll go into a job. मतलब उसके बाद देख लेंगे जो भी है. I never knew that like your journey is so inspiring, to be very honest, for me also, even though I'm 22 and you're much younger than me. So firstly, I love that part, because it's not a magic, the whole thing to start everything. You have to go through a certain kind of a grind. You have to understand a lot of things, and only then, once you've tried and you've failed, then you can come here and you can apply whatever you have not been able to do in the past. So that is number one. So even before I talk about what else did I pick up, just curious to understand, why did you stop building games?
I just realized maybe I can put my time, like as I told you, it's a cycle. Once you get into it, your motivation changes. So after I got
Hmm.
into it, my motivation was no longer that, maybe even if my motivation is that I need to make money, I realized that instead of building games, maybe I can build a tool or a platform that people can pay a subscription to. So
Hmm.
like ad revenue is not that good of an income source that as compared to subscriptions or SaaS. So I
Hmm.
pivoted to building tools for that people can use. So that is just part of your journey. It's not anything in particular I hate about games. I still wish sometime in the future, like I imagine myself to have opened a game studio and I'm just building out games for people without any uh, expectations out of it.
True, true.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, even I have this thing, man. I do all this podcast. All these podcasts are very knowledgeable, but somewhere in the future, I just want to make a chill podcast जहाँ मतलब कुछ भी बात कर सके, कुछ भी ऐसे without
Mhm.
being judged. उसको revenue मिले ना मिले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So yes, I can completely relate with that. Secondly, I like this part where you had talked about the inspiration to start something always starts with earning money. या फिर to look cool. That is how you usually start something. And once you go through the grind, once you go through the process, that is when you understand the true meaning of that journey. And that is when your goals start changing, your ambitions start changing. Like when I wanted to come to Bits, mera aisa tha ki I will just become the best engineer. Okay, because meko it was fed into me by society that engineering, either you can be an engineer, doctor, or failure. Itna hi tha options. So yeah, so engineering में गया मैं. Once I understood like what is it actually, I was like भाई ये मेरे को उतना नहीं करना है. So that is why even
Mhm.
my role is I am into business development now, where I'm responsible for growth and sales in a company and all of that. But the whole point of me talking about this is the part where you have talked about your journey, and it was started with a different intention and now it is going in a different intention, and that is something that I picked up, which was really nice. And even there are parts where you said that there were some things that you have made in the past which were a little cringe, but that is how you usually start. Like that is how you have to start. Like you will do a lot of things, you will say a lot of things which you will be like मतलब better कर सकता था मैं इससे. And I
Mhm.
can that is how you usually start. So I really appreciate you talking about that. Now coming to
Thanks.
me, yeah. Now coming to MediaGrow. So how I got introduced to MediaGrow and how I even got introduced to you was through Jeet. He had actually, like, I had approached him, and he had helped me out with this channel. Like even if my channel is growing right now, a major factor of that is Jeet, because he had analyzed my channel and he had told me what changes I could do, what could I make better. Because जो भी मैं करता था was based on my knowledge and whatever I have perceived. Since he has interacted with a lot of other people, a lot of creators, he introduced me to this and he was like, हाँ हम लोग ये करते हैं. This is Media Grow and this is what we do. This is how we can help you. So through that, I had got to MediaGrow. So I would want to know from you exactly what is MediaGrow. Whoever is listening to this, how can they use MediaGrow? How can they probably collaborate with you guys and explain it to everyone who's watching this in the most layman terms?
Okay, so MediaGrow is a video editing agency at our core. What we do is we have clients who give us video editing projects. Mostly we work on clients who give us project on a recurring basis.
Hmm.
So instead of one-off freelance projects, it's like the client has signed a contract with us for 3 months, 6 months or so. So for that time, we will edit their videos, or the terms of delivery are there. Whatever is the how many videos we have to deliver, how many thumbnails, and all of those things. And then we have freelancers who are working with us. So it's like the most basic agency model. You have clients who give you a project, then you have the agency in between, and you have freelancers who work for this agency. And what the agency has to do is their core value addition part is that they have to pick these freelancers out of the massive freelancer pool. So for a
Hmm.
client, they don't have to, get into that uh, headache of which freelancer do I hire, how do I get the best, output possible? Because most of the time they're not even aware of that. What are the elements that goes into making a good looking video? They just know that this video looks good, this video doesn't, but they don't know how it's done. They don't know what element needs to be moving where on the screen in order for it to look good. So that's what we manage. uh, we don't edit it ourselves. We have people who do it for us on a freelance basis, but that's in the most basic way. That is what we do. Like if you want to, maybe work with us or something, the most easiest way is to just reach out to us. I'm available everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, through email, or anything. Otherwise, uh, that's it. But now we are moving towards a more subscription as a service model. So basically, in the entire industry, this is a new trend that's been popping up. That is a productized services. So, like in the old days, you used to have an agency that used to deal in services. Now, what you're doing, and a SaaS product used to be something that deals with subscriptions. And also the basic difference would be that for agencies you don't have a well defined, like a box that you will get this. So for every customer, it used to be like we used to get on a call with them, we used to understand their requirements and build a personalized pricing or whatever structure for them, that these will be the deliverables, this will be the pricing, this will be the cost to you, and all of that. For products, it used to be like, this is a product, you can use this product and pay me $5 a month, $10 a month straight.
Hmm.
Now the new emerging trend is of productized services. That is, you package your services in such a way that it is essentially a product now. So you say that we'll offer you, let's say, six videos, six editing hours a month, and for that we'll charge you, let's say, $100 a month. So that is one package you created, and there are certain packages that we have that we offer to our clients. So that is the direction we are trying to move. We still do the freelance one-off projects, but like we are trying to move more in a productized service thing, because it is better for both the client as well as the agency. Like it's a win-win situation for both. For the agency, from the agency side, you have recurring revenue that you can absolutely be sure about, that you'll be getting this every single month. Like that risk of not finding another client another month, that is decreased. From the client side, you are exactly sure about what you are getting, beforehand. So things are very clear in this thing. So yeah,
Hmm.
that is it that we're doing right now.
Understood. Thank you for talking about the SaaS model also, because I think
Mhm.
what is booming in the industry right now is the SaaS model. Everyone's shifting to a SaaS company. Everyone's, whichever startup is happening, they are planning to like incline more towards a SaaS product. And thank you
Yeah,
for.
because everyone wants recurring revenue.
Hmm.
They don't want to be hunting for new revenue every month. They want that if I have got a customer, if I've acquired a customer, that customer pays me every single month. It's
Hmm.
not a one-off deal. So that
Yeah.
is the core reason why everyone is moving towards it.
For people who just don't understand or something, who did not understand the technicalities, something like a SaaS in a very layman's term would be something like Netflix. You are paying for 3 months, you are paying for a contract of 1 month, or you are paying for a contract of 1 year. You're paying them and you are getting the services that are being offered by them. What do you do if the contracts get violated? Like, say, suppose a client has promised that he will give you 6 videos and he is not able to give a certain amount of videos or something like that.
So usually it is like inside the lines it's written that if the client fails to do so, there will be no refund from our side. Although we can say to him कि हमारे contract में था, will not give you a refund, but we'll still give his money back at all if he's not satisfied at all, because at the end of the day we also want our clients to be satisfied. That is the top priority.